Hello, and thank you for our Motivation Monday. We are here with you, and we are live in case you want to catch us during our live. I hope you all had a great weekend, and let us know if you've done anything that has been fun, exciting, or new. Let us know how your weekend is. This is a place that gives you the opportunity to be heard. And many people like that. We want to say thank you to all 320 of you that have liked our pages. We are so grateful for you. Thank you for joining us here today. We appreciate all that you guys do to contribute towards us. Did you guys get to hear our Saturday night Vibe Talk radio show? I sure hope so. I'm really having a great time with that. I'm loving that just like I love this. Music is great for the soul. You know what else is great for your soul? Is to let your soul shine. We're going to be talking about that as you join us this morning in conversation. And so I found a piece of expression of art that I would like to give to you. This isn't school, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But it's all a part of working on yourself. And we're going to be drawing a flower with flower petals. We've done this before, but I want you on the flower petals to draw what you think you need. Yes, we're talking about soul shining, but we're also talking about letting your soul shine. How do we do that? Good morning, Trish.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay.
Soul shining. Soul shining is like this. Every morning that I wake up, I open my curtain. Why do I do that? Because it's very dark in my front room. So in order to let there be light, I open the curtain to let the sun shine. How many of you do that?
I do.
Yeah, and why do you do that?
I do it because it helps me wake up in the morning. Like when you wake up and obviously the curtains are closed because it's dark in there. It's a whole different vibe when you wake up in the morning and you open the curtains and the sun is just shining. It helps me get ready for the morning.
Yeah. And I thought, but thank you for that. I thought by us doing this, we're welcoming summer. It's just around the corner. I don't know if it's hot where you are, but it has been a few hot days. And I think this is a good time to discuss this. If you guys don't understand the assignment, you're always able to contact us through our Vibe Talk Direct Connect. As Trish will put that up as we do every single morning. When we think about putting sunshine into our souls, we are aligning ourselves with things that we desire. We're aligning ourselves with the passions that we feel, getting things done so that you can have fulfillment, purpose, joy, and peace from the inside outwardly. I want you to think about, as you draw your flower today, what makes your soul shine. How many times have we thought about letting sunshine into ourselves? We're here with you live on Facebook. When you are being able to have your inner self shine, did you know that it reflects on your outer self? You know, when people say that, and they say this for a lot of pregnant women, and it may be true because that is the happiest time of life when a woman is having a child or pregnant with a child. She has a glow about her. But let's not be stingy. Let's think about man, woman, or child being radiant in life. You speak of radiance. Your conversations are always upbuilding. Your conversations are always where people want to bask in that radiance of yours. People actually want to be around you because they desire that. That brings them comfort. How many people do you all know that you want to bask in their sunshine? You welcome them. Some of us say everybody, and that's okay. But how many of those people add to your sunshine? Because sometimes what begins to happen, is that there are people that do the opposite. Those are the people that bring the clouds. And we've heard the term make it rain. In this case, they make it rain on your sunshine. Today, we're going to address that. And you're going to be the judge of your own soul to see if you're really allowing sunshine to draw in. Because when we think about ourselves and what we want, how we feel, what we value, what we desire, your petals today should be full because you're drawing a flower. And you're going to color that flower. You have the responsibility to align yourself with the deepest part of your emotions. Many people say they feel sad. What are you doing to get out of that sadness? Doesn't mean that you're You don't have a right to be sad. You don't have permission to be sad. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. You have every right to feel the true emotion that you feel. Otherwise, that would take away from your being human. But here's what I'm talking about. When you align yourself with the deepest part of your emotion, are you allowing time to let the sun shine onto you? The soul, nothing separate, nothing apart. The soul that you breathe is you. How are we doing with allowing sunshine to come into our lives? What does bring you real joy? We talked about that. We had a podcast on making a joy list. How are you doing with that? It is very challenging when we challenge ourselves from the inside because we're used to making negative comments. Did you guys know that it's much easier to make negative comments about ourselves than it is any other person? We're quick. We jump, hop, and skip to make negative assessments. But we will give those on the outside so much credit, even if they're the meanest, even if they are the most challenging. But we won't give ourselves exception. Today, by your drawing your petals, you're going to do that. I don't know if you've started this beautiful assignment, but those petals are going to be petals of life that you are going to look at. And I want you to have it somewhere where you can open it up and remind yourself or give yourself permission, especially on your darkest days. Give yourself permission to let your sun or soul shine. Sometimes we listen to our inner voice, and our inner voice can be very much like this. I'm never good enough. Nobody likes me. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't even like me. Am I close enough? Did I touch on emotions that are human that you might feel about yourself, or you've said more than once? Because if you've said it more than once, can I just tell you this? You've reminded yourself that you'd rather stay in that darkness than find a way to come into the light. It's summer, and I thought we have a couple more weeks until it's officially summer, but I thought this is a great way because how much do we feel that the sun is really good for us? Now, this is not a medical show. It does help with your mental and emotional health, as I am a professional life coach, but I am never claiming to be a doctor. I am not. But doctors have said to the sick, and for those who are wanting better health, good morning, Ray. Thank you. Doctors have said that when you get sunshine, it's the natural vitamin D, spending time outside. Now, we're not saying when it's blistery hot and you got a weather warning to be careful because it's going to be a very hot day. We need to pay attention to those. But what it's telling us is get some sun. Why? Because that sun shines. Ray says walks and music help keep the sadness away at times. But sometimes I sit and just think, what's the reason for the sadness when there's things like my family or hanging by myself or friends that can, hold on just a moment, that can bring peace to my soul. And yes, it's hard to be positive when you're thinking negatively about oneself and give others praise and exception. And good morning, everyone. Can't hide in a hole forever. Yeah. Gotta crawl out and get some sunshine. Thank you for that, Ray. And if you're live on Facebook, you can see that comment. When the doctor recommends vitamin D, the reason they're doing that is because they are wishing you better hope, or excuse me, better health. But if you don't follow it, how and what does that mean? Are you going to live authentically yourself? Are you going to be wholehearted and have these desires that you really want to do? Good morning for joining us. We appreciate that. I'm grateful for any type of sunshine. It makes me want to get out there. What are you all thankful for this morning? We never want to forget that. What are you guys thankful for as we talk about letting our souls shine? Letting sunshine into ourselves. We're going to be right back as you think about what you're thankful for, because what you say could help any listener. Let's not forget that, as we'll be right back. Cause we're called vibetalkfacingthelionpodcast. Podcast. Go set your favorite stream. Feel free to be interactive and tell us your stories. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and it's the most hard. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Go give it a shot. Basement lines, basement lines. We are back. Let's challenge ourselves. What are you thankful for this morning? And we're asking that to you, the audience. Trish, what are you thankful for this morning?
I'm thankful for hearing the birds by my window this morning. It's such a nice feeling and beautiful sound when you hear that in the morning.
Love, love that. And we have Ray as our audience member. What are you thankful for this morning? What are you thankful for as Ray is in our audience? So, how many of you have taken the challenge to draw a flower? It could be any kind of flower, but make sure that you're including petals. Be creative with this because this is going to be your guide to come into the sunshine. Ray is thankful for living and sunshine in the morning. Love that. What you say could definitely impact someone else for the good. Let's keep doing that. Let's challenge ourselves more. How many of us make time for our inner selves, the souls of our mirror that's part of us, that is us from the inside? How many of us spend time self-reflecting?
I do.
Anybody? How much time on an average day are you spending on reflecting? Anybody?
I'd say like 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay, so when you're self-reflecting, and this is a question for everyone, are you self-reflecting about others more than you are yourself? Now, this may sound like a selfish question, but honestly, guys, it isn't. Because we tend to worry about others more than we do ourselves. You know, I'm a mom, and so 90% of the time, I'm a worrier about my kids or my grandson. Ray says he reflects a lot. The reason why I'm posing this question to you all, because I want you to self-reflect. Right now, what is one desire that you have? You know, we look at other people and we say, they really like music. There's nothing wrong with that statement. Oh, they really can do this well. See, those people that you're looking at have something that they're passionate about. I'm passionate about children. What are you all passionate about? Some people dismiss the thought of truly trying to connect to themselves, but spend more time connecting with others. We don't say that that's wrong or right. We say spending time to understand yourself. The more that you spend understanding who you are, you're going to be able to find out your joy. Everyone needs a time and a moment to be at peace. Everyone living and breathing. Everyone small, big, great, lowly, noble needs time to reflect on joy, fulfillment, and peace. And if you hear a word today as you draw your flower, I want you to include those words on your petals. Send them in. Again, this is not school, so you don't have to do it. You can color the flower. You can make a garden. Send them in. Sometimes we think that we've got to be bigger than life. How many people do we actually know in our life that are always bigger than life? I've known a couple in my life, but you know something, guys? the saddest fact is they really didn't feel that way. A lot of comedians will tell you that they've assumed being a comedian because of something that was sad in their lives, something that they're escaping from. Let's be people that connect to ourselves. Simple things in life, as you self-reflect, can mean a whole lot. In translation, what you choose to do in your life can keep you in the dark or can bring your soul sunshine. It could be the littlest thing. If you ever watch a child, it's the littlest thing that brings them laughter. Would you not all agree? Now we're going to talk about where you're placing those things of joy, fulfillment, peace, and desires. How many of you have found something that you love to do? And where is it in your number calculation? Is that the number one thing you wish and desire to do? Or have you even categorized it yet? Identify what it is that you like to do. And since you're reflecting on yourselves, think about letting your sunlight in. See, it's not just once a day that I open my curtain. I've learned that from my mother. My mother has always, from the time that I could speak, and I don't have any recollection of that time when it started, but my mother has always opened up her curtains. And so now I realize the value of that. You ever been in a dark house? Ray says to find peace. Ray spends 20 minutes and he includes other people. He puts a percentage on that. And we do want to think about others. But do we want to think about others as demise to our own selves? That would not be healthy. We want you to think about others. This podcast teaches you about your mental and emotional health, my emotional and mental health, and others. You start to think about, wow, there are really people who are not connected to themselves. We see it every day. You've seen it every day, not being conscious. And we label it. We say those people are crazy. No, some of those people are very, very intelligent. They just need the opportunity to let the sun in. Look for opportunities. Today, your petals are your opportunities of what you'd like to see more in letting your soul shine. How do you do that? Because all of us have a different way of how we're going to be. And that's the fun of doing projects that express ourselves. That's why we call it expressions through art. Because your flower is going to be different from my flower. And therefore, identify what you truly are about, how you see yourself. Why? Because you're sending a message to you, your soul, that you matter. How many of you think you matter? All right, I'd like to see electronic hands, and if you're getting this after we're live, please include your electronic hand. Prioritize that, because sometimes we may be doing so much for others that we forget about ourselves. But I need you today to take courage. Be courageous and know that you do matter. I want everyone to say that one time. And I want you to say it where you can hear yourself say it. I matter. I matter. See, because until you do, your sunshine is not going to be authentically let in. I've seen some of the most courageous people. They live life. And when they pass away, you know what we say about them? They have lived their lives to the fullest. How many times have you all said that? We're not talking about people who are in their 20s. We're talking about people that are 80, 90, 100. Those are the people that have lived their lives to the fullest. I ask today on this Motivation Monday that you start living your life. No, not being selfish. Doing the things that you like, because you just said you matter. It will matter. Because you know what's going to happen, guys? You're going to get old enough one day, and you know what you're going to start doing? You're going to start thinking about all the things that you could have done and all the things you've never done. How sad would it be if you said, I've always wanted to build a garden, but I never took the time. But it has been something I've really wanted to do. And here you are at the end of your life wishing that. I want you to think about what I've just said. You want to live your life without feeling like you have regrets because you didn't get a chance. And I'm particularly talking to everybody, but even more so talking to anybody. Everybody got that? It takes courage. There are travelers, people who travel, and you say, well, who did you go with? And you expect an entourage of people, and they say, no, time waits for no one. I took my trip, and I had a great time. How do I know? Because I just did it. I know a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you guys something. Waiting on them to get done what I want to do, that could take a lifetime, because how many people are truly busy? How many people do you know that are truly busy? Almost everybody, right? Everybody that we know lead busy lives. So would it be fair to wait and say, well, I didn't get to do this because, you see, sorry guys, my life had so many busy things. If you're not a traveler, be courageous enough to see the outside world all around you. How many of you do the same thing every day in the same way? Anybody do the same thing every day? No change? Trish, what about you? Ray, what about you?
I try not to do the same thing every day because I don't want it to be a cycle because I feel like I'm not good with habits. I try not to make a habit of doing the same thing over and over again. So even with workouts, right? I always change it. Out of the time there's leg day, there's the day where you work on your belly fat. There's different days. I try not to do the same thing every day because I consider that as boring. So that's why I don't do the same thing every day.
Yeah, boring. Work and sleep mostly, but I'm trying to get out more races. See, I feel the same way. Doing the same thing every day, the same way, you gotta switch it up. I remember when my kids were younger, the same regimen of getting ready for school every day, the same way. Okay, we've got to have routine, but we can switch it up. Where maybe you have 5 or 10 minutes. You can do something in 5 or 10 minutes different. You can switch it up to make life and sunshine in. When we think about what brings us joy, our mindfulness shines brighter. That means our very own brain begins to brighten up when we think about being fully engaged, being fully present. People come here because it's live, but are you really engaged? Are you more engaged by participation and being present than you as you're thinking about being courageous? How many of you think about what makes you brave? What makes you brave? How many of you really take the time to think about your being brave? Because that's part of it too. I love to go out and do things. I like being outside, but am I going to wait to have to be outside? See, it's brave when I can take a trip, when I can enjoy the sunshine, because that's what I'm choosing for the day. Here's another question we can ask ourselves. How many of you enjoy the sunshine? Anybody?
I
How
do.
many of you enjoy the sunshine?
I do.
And what about the sunshine do you enjoy?
I enjoy the heat of the sunshine. It's so relaxing. Sometimes I go outside and I sit in the sun just because I just love the heat of it.
Yeah, yeah. It feels good, doesn't it? And so everybody should want the sunshine. So how do we go about getting that sun to beam on our souls? We've talked about a couple of things that matter. And so I ask you today, as you're drawing your life petals, what matters to you? And why even talk about the subject? Ray says the breeze of the wind and sunshine. You like that, huh? Yeah, you feel good. You know, some people have been very affected by the sun. And that's because of not taking the proper precaution and shielding yourself from the rays of it, the UV rays of it. So when you're out in the sun, make sure you're taking proper care. The sun is good for the body, but is it good for your soul? You are the only one that can determine that. You are the only one that can determine that. And I say that for emphasis. Some people never go outside. How many of you have neighbors and you never see them outside?
I do.
Yeah. I've had neighbors like that. Maybe they're busy, but you do find that they may be home as well. I want you to be mindful of maybe reflecting. This is where we think about others, guys. Reflecting on what they might be going through. When, again, people always say this to me, you're always going somewhere, you're always outside. Why am I always outside? Because I know to sit in the house is not always the best of energy. Everybody got that? It may not always be the best of energy. So my question to you today is, how are you spending your time? We're not here to tell you what to do, but we are here to say, let your soul shine. Ray says that he thinks about their abandoned homes when you don't see anyone, or you don't see them out having fun. How many of us can relate to that?
I can.
Yeah. We can all relate. Wow, we say, I wonder how they're doing. You see, we don't in here not think about other people. That is not what I am promoting here. But I want you to be thinking about, if it affects you, you're not letting your sun in, how other people might feel. Let your soul shine. Be the person that takes the initiative to do that. There's so many things that we can do. And let's talk about people and the things that they've done. You can think on your petals of life, what makes you joyful, what brings you peace, what makes you feel like you're radiant. Music, people pick, people play instruments, people travel, they're great dancers, people enjoy nature, they enjoy being together. You see, they have what is a insatiable desire for joy. And in that insatiable desire to be that, music, dancing, all of this stuff, they have experienced much. I'm going to say that again. They have experienced much. And they're able to connect with other people who have experienced the joys and the passions of it. You know, if any of us have travel TV in our homes, that is another great way of you understanding what it means to have your soul shine. Because you know what the people do? They travel a whole lot. Did you hear what I said? They travel a whole lot. And you, by looking at those travel channels, how many of us says, wow, that's beautiful, I'd like to do that? How many of us have said that?
I have.
Yeah, yeah. But how many of us have actually took a risk and been able to do things right in our own backyards? Here's one that I'd like to do. I'd like to build a garden, and I thought, well, I don't have, because I live in an apartment, but does that mean I can't grow a garden? I saw someone actually build a rock garden. They took rocks and painted them as flowers. Would you say that that person had a desire for crafts or the arts, or perhaps wanted a garden? They got creative. That's the point. So I want you guys to expect things of yourselves. It does my body good to open up the curtain. We can start with something as small as that. We want you to feel as if your light affects other people for the good, that is. That's what my hope is for you today, as you make your soul shine. One thing I love about Vibe Talk is geared to help you to understand how you do that. You think about your desires. We talked about being courageous and brave. If you have any friends or you yourself have traveled and you like to travel, it can get expensive, but you can find ways that you can travel. We found it right in this room. How so? By people all over the world reaching out to us. So we have traveled just by the sheer button. I want you guys to think about your social selves. You say you want to get out more. Getting out more does not have to include the biggest. It can include something very small. But I want you to expect that from yourself to get out. Are we doing that? Have expectation. Make choices that are going to level with your inner selves. Some of us may want to travel, but we're not in a position to be able to do that. It's very expensive to travel. But how about a day travel somewhere? Each moment, I want you to think about being engaged. This is why I like Vibe Talk too, because Vibe Talk keeps you engaged fully. Just by you doing the art of expression, if you choose to, you're present because you're thinking about your assignment. Shine brighter. Sharing is a good thing. How many times have you been told in your lifetime to share? Anybody out there?
I have.
Yeah. How does that feel to you to share?
It feels good to me to share, but sometimes, if I really want something and I don't want to share, I feel kind of irritated, but doing it makes me feel better.
Yeah. Ray says he has been told to share. Some of us may be a little selfish in our sharing because you know those people that I ask you to be mindful of? We can bring them light by our very words that we speak. It happened to me yesterday. My sister actually had a um, clothes exchanged, and it's been going on for a couple days now, and I finally went over there yesterday, and we knew the person, they said to me, "Your laugh I will never forget." They were laughing because I was laughing. Sometimes even sharing that brings light to people. Ray says, at times, but he does share. Thank you for your honesty. See, we can embark and bring things to people. How about a zest for life? Some people don't want to live. But by our very zest for living can make a person really think. So share that. Share inspiration as we do here and motivation. We're all into these days, people. Good morning to Kate. Good morning, Kate. We're talking about letting the sunshine shine in our souls. Good morning. And if you want anybody that's liking our conversation, do us a favor. And I only ask because many of you will return. Go to our live Facebook page, Vibe Talk, and click like, please, and thank you. And also, you're welcome to subscribe to our YouTube page. I feel very, very passionate about that. Share your light with people. Kate, where are you from? Where are you listening from, please? And thank you. Some people live vicariously through other means without being themselves totally. When you're asked to let your soul shine, It's really an invitation to your being able to explore who you really are, what shapes you, what truly matters to you. It's not easy. You see, by me starting out saying that my mother, for all of my life, has opened up the curtain to brighten the room and impacted my life. Impact can be for the good or for the ugly. Which do you want to do? By her doing that every day, I now do it, and I have passed it on to my grandchild. Because if the window is not open, the curtain, you know what he says? He has started, and he's 4. To open the curtain, he says, because we have to let the sunshine in. How about that, guys? See, it's nice to be able to pass something down in heritage, sharing that light. So make the choice to allow your soul to deeply shine. We all have that opportunity. We all do. We're going to be right back with Trisha's Treasures. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's Trish, your co-host on Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. And here's where to find us in our information. We do accept donations. You can send it to our Cashapp, which is vibetalkfacethelion. You can send us voice messages as well through Spotify and our direct connect, which is 661-503-8993, which is the first information that you'll see on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is also the first resource of our updated videos, along with Facebook with any up-to-date videos or reels or any posts that we're doing. Instagram mostly promotes the positive quotes and reels of our podcast and our radio show, which is Vibe Talk After Dark Radio Show, which happens Saturday night. Doesn't have a specific time, and our slogan is, what song can we play for you? And that is also hosted by our host of Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. You can find most of that on iHeartRadio and our Spotify.
Yeah, we are back. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to turn it over to Trisha's Treasure. Trish?
The sunshine of my soul. I'm thinking of that. And I saw it like when I make music and when I want it to impact other people. I want people to feel it, to feel the goodness in it, and to feel the positivity radiate out of your phone when you hear me on my song just spitting straight positivity. I wanted people to feel it like that. And it takes a lot of work for me to make sure that that's happening. Make sure it gets that vibe. You know, the vibe check. When people do the vibe check, they could, for example, they can play an R&B song, and we see if you like it or not. And when you start nodding your head and feeling the vibe of that song, it's like, oh, you passed the vibe check. You feel what the R&B song is saying. You like the genre. That's how it is with your personal sunshine. It's like, do you really know yourself? Do you really enjoy the fact that you are a nice person, or that you love the color orange, or that you love hearing the birds? If y'all heard that bird just now, it's just chirping. But yeah, you have to understand what makes you pop, what makes you a vibe, what makes you you. And what makes it so awesome is that we radiate that personality and it impacts people in a positive way. It really does. And it makes a change, excuse me. It makes a change, and it helps other people see what is on the other side of their depression or their darkness. Have you ever seen somebody that is just a joy to be around when you are sad? And then their joy radiates off of themselves onto you, and you're like, you know what? Let me be happy. Let me let me get some of that sunshine and let me use that. And it works just like that. So whatever your sunshine is, whatever makes you you, whatever makes you shine, embrace that. Don't hide it. Use it. It helps you. It helps your personality shine, and know what makes you shine as who you are.
Yeah. I had to think for a minute and ponder over that. Thank you so much for that. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we are in our own way. We have to get out of the way of ourselves if we're not having enough of soul shining. We must get out of our own way. Whatever it is that you need to do to make something happen, do that. Allow yourself to allow something to happen. Whatever it is you want to do, you must get out of the way of yourself. Because the only thing that can stop you from letting the sun in your soul is you. Nobody is to blame. There is a song, and I won't sing it, but you all know this song. And I'm going to end it like this. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know just how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Think about that. Internalize that. Everyone knows that song. So I challenge you today to find your joy, your peace, and let your soul shine. Let the sunshine in. We leave you with our last and final question. What did you learn and discover about yourself today? I ask that to all of you. I learned about myself that I do take the time to let the sunshine in. I don't necessarily have to wait till the weekend. but I make adjustments in my life so that I can let my soul shine. And yes, by my soul shining, others see that and reflect on that. That's impact. And I feel very happy about this because we're sending the message to you. Trish and Ray, what did you learn about today's podcast on letting your sun shine or your soul shine? What did you learn about this?
I learned that if my mood is cloudy and a dreary mood, I can go outside and let the sun shine into me and change my perspective on my entire day, because my mindset really does run how I think the entire day. But I can change that. I have the power to change that and use that to brighten my mood, to ignite the light that's inside of me. And I felt very relaxed in here just talking about the sun, because I love the sun. Helps me feel warm. It's a very warm environment right now about this subject. So that's how I felt today.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Ray says, I'm in a gray, cloudy mood, but I think some sunshine will help. And talking with others, like close acquaintances, helps him. We are going to ask that everyone who wants to bask in the sun, that you take responsibility for your own sun. He also mentions never be afraid to accept some sunshine in a room full of darkness, and also cracks a smile as I enjoy my life. I'm live here, guys. Good mood right now. Honestly, I'm relaxed. Love that. Thank you so much, Ray, for those comments. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Ray. Thank you for the audience members that were here earlier. If you like Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, I ask please go to our social medias, because it just keeps happening there. We're growing. Um, we know that we have something to bring you all the time, and we're forever streaming. Uh, right now, we have about 300 and something podcasts. We do. And let us know how you feel about them. If you haven't subscribed to our page, it is free. So go to our YouTube channel, Vibe Talk, Facing the Lion podcast. Type it in, click subscribe. You don't have to pay anything. Everything is always willingly given. And thank you so much for just supporting us. We'll see you next time as we challenge your Monday motivation to help you let your soul shine. I challenge you. And we can talk about this all week. Today doesn't have to be the last day, but if you want to comment, you're able to comment on much of our social media pages. And also call in and text. Our number is simply 661-503-8993. You can send us a message. Thanks, everybody. I challenge you to let your soul shine.
Body about the Mars, and then I got the vibe.